The sound of jet engines 17,000 feet above my house had become background noise, white noise for my daughter's bedtime routine. But this time was different. This time, those engines were about to land in the field behind Oakmont Estates. And this time, everyone was about to learn something about the single mom in the beat-up minivan. I'm standing in my driveway right now, watching three of my neighbors, Karen, Brittany, and Jessica, clustered by the mailboxes. They're not even pretending anymore. They're staring at my car. Again, the 2012 Honda Odyssey with the faded alabaster silver paint. The one with Cheerios ground in the back seat. The one with the "My daughter is an honor student" bumper sticker that's peeling at the edges. Karen's lips are moving. I don't need to hear her to know what she's saying. I've lived here in Ridgewood, Connecticut for 5 years. 5 years as a widow, 5 years raising Lily alone, 5 years of the same pitying looks and whispered conversations. Poor Sarah, such a shame, struggling to make ends meet. That car is an embarrassment. If only they knew. Before I tell you what happened in exactly 19 minutes, before I show you the moment their entire worldview collapsed, I need to know something. Where are you watching from right now? Drop your city in the comments, your state, your country, because this story, it happened in a wealthy Connecticut suburb, but I promise you it's happening in your neighborhood too. Women being underestimated, being judged, being dismissed, until they're not. My name is Sarah Chen Morrison. I'm 42 years old. I'm a single mother to a 9-year-old daughter named Lily. And yes, I drive a 12-year-old minivan with 167,000 miles on it. I also captain a Gulfstream G650. That's a $65 million private jet. But we'll get to that. Right now, Karen's walking towards me. She's in full armor. Aloe yoga set, Hermes bag, that massive engagement ring she had upgraded twice. "Sarah," her voice drips with false sweetness. "How are you holding up?" Holding up? Like I'm barely surviving? Great, actually. Just got back from a trip. Oh? Her eyebrows lift. Where did you go? Tokyo, just for 2 days. She blinks, recalculates. That must have been expensive. I hope you're not stretching yourself thin. Lily needs stability, not fancy vacations you can't afford. There it is, the concern that's really judgment. Brittany joins us. She's in tennis whites. It's Thursday morning. Most people are at work. "Sarah, honey," she touches my arm like we're friends. "I've been meaning to talk to you about the carpool. Some of the mothers are concerned about, well, the safety of your vehicle. It passed inspection last month." "Yes, but it's just so old, and you're always working those odd hours. We worry for Lily." Jessica hovers nearby. She looks uncomfortable, but says nothing. I check my phone. One text message. 3 words. ETA 19 minutes. Captain Mike Reeves, best pilot I've ever flown with, currently bringing my aircraft in for a landing that's about to shatter every assumption these women have made about me. You know what, Karen? Stick around for about 15 more minutes. There's something you should see. What's that supposed to mean? I smile. The same smile I give air traffic controllers when they underestimate me. Calm, confident, unbothered. You'll see. Lily comes running out of the house. She's carrying her telescope. "Mom, is it time?" "Almost, sweetheart." She grins, bright and knowing. This is going to be so cool. Karen looks between us, confused, threatened by something she can't quite identify. Good, let her wonder. In 19 minutes, she'll know exactly who I am, and it's going to be magnificent. Karen didn't leave. Of course she didn't. Women like Karen can't stand not knowing something, can't stand not being in control of the narrative. Brittany checked her Apple Watch. "I really should get to my court time." "Stay," Karen said, sharp, an order disguised as a suggestion. Jessica shifted her weight. "What exactly are we waiting for?" Lily sat on the driveway with her telescope, pointing it at the sky. She'd been tracking the flight path on her iPad for the last 20 minutes. My daughter, 9 years old and already fluent in aviation navigation. I wonder what Karen would say if she knew Lily could plot a transatlantic flight route better than most adults. That's when the sound started. Low, distant, growing. Lily jumped up. Mom, I can see it. Karen's head snapped toward the sky. See what? The rumble became a roar. I know that sound like I know my own heartbeat. Rolls-Royce BR725 engines, 40,000 pounds of thrust, the sound of freedom at 500 knots. But to them, it was just noise. Confusing, unexplained noise that was getting louder every second. More neighbors appeared. Maggie Sullivan from across the street, the Chens from next door, the Hendersons, even the reclusive Patels came out. Everyone looking up. There, Lily pointed. The Gulfstream G650 cut through the clear sky like a silver blade. Landing gear deployed, perfect descent angle. Mike was bringing her in exactly as planned. Is that thing landing here? Brittany's voice cracked. That's not possible. There's no runway. The conservation field, 40 acres, FAA-approved emergency landing site. Emergency? Karen's voice pitched high. We need to call someone. It's not an emergency. The jet's shadow swept across Oakmont Estates. Windows rattled in their frames. Someone's dog car alarm went off. Someone's dog started barking. Brittany grabbed my arm. Sarah, what's happening? Why is it landing so close to your house? The wheels touched grass, smooth as silk. Mike was a perfectionist. The engines wound down, the stairs deployed, and every single person in my driveway stood frozen. Oh my God, Jessica whispered. Who is that? Captain Mike Reeves appeared in the doorway, full uniform, 4 stripes on his shoulder boards. He waved. I waved back. Lily was already running toward the jet, her backpack bouncing. Lily, Karen's voice was sharp. You can't just... She can. It's her plane, too. The silence was absolute. Karen's face went through a color spectrum. Pink, red, pale white. Her... what? I picked up my captain's briefcase from the minivan, the one I keep hidden under the passenger seat. Worn leather, my initials embossed in gold. The jet, I said, walking past all of them. It's mine. Brittany actually laughed. Nervous, disbelieving laughter. Sarah, that's insane. Those cost $65 million, I said, fully customized. I flew it to Singapore last week. I kept walking. Behind me, I heard Jessica's voice, small and confused. But you're a single mom. You drive a... She trailed off. The minivan sat in my driveway. Modest, unremarkable, everything they'd judged me for. It gets 40 miles per gallon, perfect for the school run. Lily was already at the stairs, talking to Mike about the landing, using proper aviation terminology, asking about crosswinds and approach angles. Maggie Sullivan's weathered face broke into a huge smile. Sarah Chen Morrison, you magnificent woman. I turned back. Maggie, want to see inside? You've always been kind to me. I would be honored. The rest of them just stood there. Karen's mouth was opening and closing like a fish. Brittany looked like she might faint. Jessica had tears in her eyes. I wasn't sure why. Oh, I said, pausing at the stairs. Karen, about that HOA meeting next week, the one where you were going to propose vehicle standards for the neighborhood? Her face went even paler. I'll be there, and I'll be arriving in this. I gestured at the Gulfstream. I think we should discuss what standards really means, don't you? Then I climbed aboard my $65 million aircraft and left them standing there in the wreckage of their assumptions. You want to know something? I almost told them a year ago. It was at Lily's school fundraiser. Karen was holding court about financial responsibility and how some parents, she'd looked directly at me, needed to prioritize their children's education over frivolous spending. I'd been standing there in my Target jeans and Old Navy cardigan, and I'd almost said it. I have more money than everyone in this room combined, but I didn't. Want to know why? Because Maggie Sullivan had walked over and started telling me about her granddaughter's college acceptance, asked if I had any advice about student loans. And I'd remembered why I chose this life, why I kept the minivan, why I shopped at Target and cooked dinner instead of ordering in, why I never corrected anyone's assumptions. Let me take you back. Let me tell you how a girl from a working class neighborhood in San Francisco became the owner of a private jet. I learned to fly when I was 17. My dad was an aircraft mechanic at SFO. I'd spend summers at the airport, watching planes, dreaming about cockpits. I worked 4 jobs to pay for flight school. Waitressed, cleaned houses, tutored, donated plasma. Got my private pilot's license at 19. My mom cried when she found out I wanted to be a commercial pilot. Sarah, women don't do that. It's too hard, too expensive, too impossible. That's what she meant. But I did it anyway. Got hired by United at 24, one of the youngest female pilots they'd ever recruited. Married James at 26. He was a software engineer. Good man, kind heart. We were happy. Lily came along when I was 33, perfect, beautiful, born 3 weeks early during a layover in Denver. I took 6 months off, then went back to flying. Made captain at 35, youngest female captain in United's history at the time. James was so proud. And then he died. Heart attack at 38. Sudden, devastating, gone. I was left with a 3-year-old daughter and a choice: quit flying and be safe, or keep doing what I loved and be judged. I chose flying. But I was smart about money. James had been brilliant with investments. He'd taught me everything. I took his insurance payout and invested carefully, bought rental properties, played the stock market, made calculated risks. Then I got recruited for corporate aviation consulting. Turns out there was massive money in teaching corporate executives how to manage their private fleets, training their pilots, optimizing routes, handling FAA regulations. I was one of the few female experts in the field, and I was exceptional. Within 15 years, I had 15 corporate clients. Within 6, I had 40. The money accumulated faster than I could spend it. By the time I was 39, my accountant called me with news. Sarah, you're worth $52 million, and you're still shopping at Costco. I'd shrugged. Lily likes it there. She gets samples. Buy something, he'd insisted. Celebrate your success. So I bought the Gulfstream. Not to show off, but because after 15 years of flying other people's planes, I wanted one that was mine. I wanted to take Lily to see the aurora borealis from the air. I wanted to fly to Paris for breakfast. I wanted freedom. The house in Oakmont Estates came later. 3 bedrooms, normal by neighborhood standards, great school district for Lily. I paid cash. Kept the minivan because it was safe and reliable. And everyone assumed I was struggling. A poor widow, barely making it. One emergency away from disaster. I let them think it. Because here's what I learned. People's assumptions reveal everything about them and nothing about you. Karen's pity, that showed her need to feel superior to other women. Brittany's condescension, that revealed her fear that her worth came only from her husband. Jessica's discomfort, at least that came from empathy. But Maggie? Maggie had treated me with respect from day one, because Maggie knew that a woman's worth has nothing to do with her car or her marital status. And now, watching them process the truth, I didn't feel vindicated. I felt sad, because they'd missed 5 years of knowing the real me, and that was their loss. Inside the Gulfstream, Lily was giving Maggie the full tour. And this is the galley, Mrs. Sullivan. It has an espresso machine and a convection oven. Mom makes me hot chocolate up here when we fly at night. Maggie's eyes were bright with delight. Your mother is quite remarkable, Lily. I know, Lily beamed. She's the coolest. Mike stood at attention near the cockpit. Captain Morrison, shall I prepare for departure? Not yet, Mike. We have guests incoming. Through the windows, I watched the cluster of neighbors grow. Word had spread. I counted at least 20 people now. Some had their phones out, recording, posting to their neighborhood Facebook group, probably. Karen was at the center, gesturing wildly. Even from here, I could read her body language. Defensive, frantic, trying to control a narrative that had already escaped her grasp. Maggie touched my arm gently. Sarah, this is beautiful. But why now? Why reveal it? I looked at Lily, who was showing Mike her flight log journal. Because next week, the HOA is voting for new vehicle appearance standards. Karen wrote it specifically to target my minivan. She wants to fine me $500 a month until I buy something more appropriate. Maggie's face hardened. That woman. I was going to let it go, pay the fine, keep the peace for Lily's sake. What changed? Last Tuesday, Lily came home crying. Some girls told her we were poor, that I couldn't afford nice things, that she should be ashamed of our car, of our life. My voice stayed calm, but my hands tightened on my briefcase. Those girls were Karen's daughter and Brittany's daughter. Oh, Sarah. Lily asked me if we were poor, if she should be ashamed of our car, of our life. I looked out at the neighborhood. All those perfect houses, all those perfect facades. That's when I decided, enough. Footsteps on the stairs. I turned. Jessica stood at the entrance, tears streaming from her face. Can I come in? I nodded. She stepped inside and just stopped, stared. Her hand went to her mouth. Sarah, I had no idea. I'm so sorry. I'm incredibly sorry. You were never cruel, Jessica. But I was silent. I stood there while Karen said horrible things, while Brittany questioned your parenting. I never defended you. Her voice broke. I'm a coward. Lily looked up. You gave me your daughter's old books when I started 4th grade, the American Girl collection, remember? Jessica nodded. That was kind, Lily said simply. Kind matters more than brave. Jessica's tears came harder. You're raising an amazing daughter. I know. More footsteps, heavier. Brittany appeared. No apology in her face, just confusion and something that looked like anger. Sarah, this is insane. You've been lying to everyone, pretending to be something you're not. I never lied, I interrupted calmly. I never said I was struggling. You assumed. You drive a minivan. So do lots of successful people. It's practical. You shop at Target. Their kids section is excellent. Brittany's face was red. You let us believe. You wanted to believe it, I said quietly, because it made you feel better about yourselves. I walked closer to her, not threatening, just close enough that she had to really see me. Let me tell you something about being a woman in aviation, Brittany. I've spent 20 years in cockpits where men assumed I was the flight attendant, where passengers demanded to speak to the real pilot, where I had to be twice as good to get half the respect. I learned to let people underestimate me because their assumptions are their problem, not mine. I gestured at the Gulf Stream. I own this. I captain this. I built a multi-million-dollar consulting business while raising a daughter alone. And I did it all while you pitied me. Brittany's mouth opened, closed, nothing came out. Behind her, on the ground, I saw Karen pacing, phone pressed to her ear, calling someone. The town council, her lawyer husband. It didn't matter. The truth was out, and the truth had wings. Brittany left without another word, just turned and walked down the stairs, her designer tennis skirts swishing. But Jessica stayed. She sat in one of the cream leather seats, hands folded in her lap, looking lost. Can I tell you something? Her voice was barely a whisper. Of course. My husband lost his job 6 months ago. We're living on my yoga instructor income, $800 a month. She laughed bitterly. The Range Rover? Leased. The house? Mortgaged to the hilt. We're 3 months behind in payments. Tears spilled over. And I've been judging you, pitying you, acting like I had it all together. I sat across from her. Why didn't you say anything? Because if I admit I'm struggling, I'm out of Karen's circle, out of the school fundraiser committee, out of everything that makes me feel like I matter. Jessica, I waited until she looked at me. You matter because you're human, not because you're in Karen's circle. But without that, who am I? The question hung in the air. Lily came over and did something that broke my heart and made me proud at the same time. She handed Jessica her telescope. "Mrs. Patel, do you want to see the moon? It's really pretty right now." Jessica took it with shaking hands. "Thank you, sweetheart." My daughter, 9 years old and already understanding that kindness costs nothing. Through the window, I watched Karen march toward the jet, determined, furious. She climbed the stairs like she was storming a castle. "Sarah Chen Morrison, this is completely inappropriate. Landing a private jet in a residential area? I'm calling the FAA. I'm calling the town council. I handed her my phone, already open to a PDF. "The permits are all here, filed 8 months ago, approved by the town, the FAA, and the Conservation Commission. Emergency landing designation with monthly use allowance." She stared at the screen like the words were in a foreign language. You, you planned this? "The paperwork took 9 months. I'm very thorough." Her face contorted. Why? Why hide all this? Why let us think that I was poor? I finished. "Because I wanted Lily to have a normal childhood, to make friends based on who she is, not what we have." "That's ridiculous." "Is it?" I stood. "Your daughter, Madison, she's had 3 best friends this year, every single one chosen because their parents have beach houses or vacation homes. You arranged those playdates, didn't you?" Karen's face flushed. "I'm networking." "You're teaching your daughter that people are commodities." I kept going. Calm, factual. "Brittany's son, anxious, stressed, seeing a therapist because the pressure to be perfect is crushing him, but she keeps pushing because her achievements reflect on her." Karen's hands clenched. "You have no right." "I listen," I said quietly. "I pay attention, and I know something about you, Karen, that you've been hiding from everyone." Her face went pale. "What are you talking about?" "Your husband, the plastic surgeon, he's having an affair with his office manager, has been for 8 months." The color drained completely from her face. "I know because I flew his partner to a medical conference in Miami. We talked. He feels terrible about covering for your husband, but he's loyal." I stepped closer. "You know about the affair. You've known for months, but you can't leave because your entire identity is wrapped up in being Mrs. Dr. Westbrook. Get out of my plane, Karen." Her lips trembled. "You're cruel." "No, I'm honest. There's a difference. You've been hiding too." "I've been protecting my daughter," I corrected. "You've been protecting your ego." I walked to the door. "I'm not your enemy, Karen. Your need to feel superior is your enemy. Your obsession with appearances is your enemy. But I'm done being your target." She stood there, trembling, tears in her eyes. For a moment, I almost felt sorry for her. Then I remembered my daughter crying, asking if she should be ashamed. "The HOA meeting is Tuesday. I'll be there, and I'm voting no on your vehicle standards." Karen left, and I let her go. Some women build each other up, others tear each other down. I just made it very clear which one I was. By evening, the entire neighborhood knew. The single mom in the beat-up minivan owned a $65 million jet. The quiet woman they'd pitied was worth more than most of them combined. My phone started buzzing around 7 p.m. First call was Dennis Chen, the HOA co-chair, a nervous accountant who'd always been kind to Lily. "Mrs. Morrison, on behalf of the board, I'd like to formally apologize for any discriminatory language in the proposed vehicle ordinance. We'll be withdrawing it immediately." "Thank you, Dennis. I appreciate that. And I wonder would you consider speaking at our community career day? My daughter wants to be an engineer, and seeing a woman in aviation might really inspire her." "I'd be honored." That call felt good. The second call was from Lily's school principal. "Mrs. Chen Morrison, I heard about an incident with some girls in Lily's grade. I wanted to address it directly. Bullying of any kind." I appreciate that, but Lily handled it beautifully. She's a remarkable child. You should be very proud. I am. The third call was a reporter. I declined. The fourth was Maggie Sullivan. Sarah, dear, I'm making pot roast. Would you and Lily like to join me for dinner? Maggie, that sounds perfect. We walked across the street. Lily carried her telescope. The sky was clear, stars already appearing. Maggie's house was comfortable, lived in, real. Not a showroom like Karen's place or a museum like Brittany's. Over dinner, Maggie told stories about teaching, about students who'd gone on to do remarkable things, about the quiet ones who surprised everyone. You remind me of a student I had 30 years ago, she said, passing the potatoes to Lily. Brilliant girl, wanted to be a doctor. Everyone told her she should be a nurse instead. What happened? She's chief of surgery at Johns Hopkins now. Maggie smiled at me. People tried to make her small. She refused. After dinner, there was a knock. Jessica stood there. No makeup, hair in a ponytail. She looked younger, more herself. I'm sorry to interrupt. I wanted to say thank you. For what? For being honest, for showing me that struggling doesn't mean failing, and that pretending doesn't make anything better. She took a breath. I told my husband tonight that we need to sell the house, move somewhere affordable, start over. How did he take it? He cried with relief. He's been carrying this alone for months because I refused to face reality. She wiped her eyes. You saved my marriage by showing me that worth has nothing to do with zip code. Jessica brought her a tissue. Jessica laughed and hugged Lily. You're raising an incredible daughter, Sarah. I try. After Jessica left, Maggie poured tea. We sat on her porch watching the neighborhood settle into evening. They'll talk about this for years, the day Sarah Morrison's jet landed. I didn't want to make a scene, but you needed to protect your daughter. That's different. She was quiet for a moment. My husband was a janitor. Did you know that? I shook my head. Everyone assumed he was a teacher like me. I never corrected them. Didn't seem worth it. She smiled. But he was the best man I ever knew, worked his fingers to the bone to put her daughters through college. He taught me that worth has nothing to do with title, just like your minivan has nothing to do with your success. I looked at my old Honda, sitting faithfully in the driveway, then at the field where the Gulf Stream sat gleaming white in the twilight. Both belonged to me. Both served their purpose. Lily came out with her telescope. Mom, the constellation Orion is so clear tonight. I pulled her close. Show me, baby. And right there on Maggie Sullivan's porch, with my daughter pointing out stars and my old minivan parked nearby and my private jet resting in the field, I felt richer than I ever had. Because this was real wealth. Not money, connection. Saturday morning brought something unexpected. A knock on my door at 9 a.m. I opened it to find a teenage girl standing there, nervous, clutching a folder. Mrs. Morrison, I'm Emma. Emma Ramirez. I live 3 streets over. Hi, Emma. What can I do for you? I heard about, everyone's talking about. She took a breath. Are you really a pilot? I am. Captain, actually. Her eyes went wide. I want to be a pilot, more than anything, but my guidance counselor said it's too expensive, too hard for girls, that I should consider being a flight attendant instead. The words hit me like a punch to the gut. Same words, different generation, still trying to make women small. Come in, Emma. We sat at my kitchen table, the same IKEA table I'd bought 5 years ago. She pulled out papers. Flight school research, cost breakdowns, dreams written in careful handwriting. I've been saving since I was 12, she said. I have $8,000, but it's not enough. I looked at this girl, 16, maybe 17, burning with the same passion that had driven me at her age. Emma, can I tell you something? She nodded. I learned to fly because my dad believed in me. He was just an aircraft mechanic, but he saw something in me and refused to let the world make it small. I showed her photos on my phone. Me at 19, standing next to a Cessna 172. Me at 24, in my first United uniform. Me at 35, accepting my captain's bars. The world will tell you no 1,000 times. They'll tell you it's too hard, too expensive, not for girls like you. But here's the truth. They're wrong. I pulled out my business card. Here's the number for Flight Safety International. Tell them I sent you. I'm sponsoring 5 flight scholarships this year for young women. Emma's hands shook as she took the card. I can't. That's too much. You can. And it's not charity, it's investment in the next generation of female pilots. She started crying. Why would you do this for me? Because someone has to. Because you deserve it. Because the sky needs more women like you. After she left, I sat in the quiet kitchen. Then I made some calls. By noon, I'd connected with the local high school, set up a meeting with their career counselor. By 2 p.m., I donated $50,000 to start an aviation program for underserved students. By 4 p.m., word had spread. My phone was ringing constantly. Mrs. Morrison, would you speak at our Women in STEM conference? Captain Chen Morrison, our girls' leadership program, would love to have you. Sarah, I have a daughter who wants to learn to fly. I said yes to most of them, because this was why I'd worked so hard, why I'd saved so carefully. Not to impress neighbors, not to prove anything, but to open doors for others. That evening, Lily and I walked through the neighborhood. The September air was perfect, golden hour light painting everything warm. We passed Brittany's house. She was loading boxes into a moving truck. She saw me and paused. Sarah, Brittany, I'm sorry for everything I said, everything I assumed. I nodded. Thank you. For what it's worth, watching you stand up for yourself, it gave me the courage to leave my husband. My eyebrows rose. He's been emotionally abusive for years, controlling, cruel. I stayed because I was afraid of being judged, being pitied. She smiled sadly. Turns out being pitied by Karen Westbrook isn't the worst thing in the world. No, it's not. Where will you go? My parents' house, for now. Then I'll figure it out. She looked at Lily. Your daughter is lucky to have a mother who shows her that women can be powerful. After she left, Lily squeezed my hand. Mom, are you powerful? I thought about that question. Really thought about it. I'm me, and that's enough. That's better than powerful, Lily said. My 9-year-old daughter, already wiser than I'd been at 30. We walked home, past the minivan, past the field where the Gulf Stream sat. Both parts of my life, both real, both right. Tuesday afternoon, I got a call from Hartford Central High School. Captain Morrison, this is Principal Alvarez. I heard about what you did for Emma Ramirez. She's an exceptional young woman. She is, and she's not the only one. We have 27 students in our aviation interest group. Most of them will never get the chance to fly. I knew where this was going. What if they did? I asked. 2 hours later, I was standing in front of those 27 students. Different backgrounds, different stories, same hunger in their eyes. My name is Captain Sarah Chen Morrison, and 25 years ago, I was told I couldn't be a pilot. They leaned forward. I was told it was too expensive, too hard, that I should find a more realistic dream. I was told women don't belong in cockpits. A girl in the front row whispered, "What did you do?" I became a pilot anyway, because someone believed in me when I didn't believe in myself. I showed them the Gulf Stream on my phone. This is my aircraft. I flew it to Dubai last month, to Iceland in August, to Tokyo in September. But this, I showed them a photo of my minivan, this is also mine. Because wealth isn't about what you drive. It's about freedom to choose. A boy raised his hand. How did you afford flight school? I worked 4 jobs, lived in my car, ate ramen for months. It was hard. But here's what I learned. hard doesn't mean impossible. I pulled out papers. Starting today, I'm creating the Chen Morrison Flight Academy, full scholarships for underprivileged students who want to learn to fly. We'll start with 10 students this year. Eventually, we'll expand to 50, then 100. The room erupted, kids crying, hugging, some just sitting in stunned silence. Emma Ramirez stood up. Why? Why would you do this? Because I remember what it felt like to be told no, to be dismissed, to have doors slammed in my face. And I'm wealthy enough now to kick those doors open for others. After the presentation, a young man approached, quiet, intense. Captain Morrison, I'm Marcus. I'm 17. I've wanted to fly since I was 5. Tell me about it. My mom cleans houses in Ridgewood. I help her sometimes. I've been to Oakmont Estates. Oh, you've seen my minivan. My mom parks her car near it sometimes when she works. He looked directly at me. She told me about you, said you were different from the other people there, that you always spoke to her, asked about her day, remembered her name. My throat tightened. You have no idea how much that meant to her, how much it means to me. Marcus, you showed me something important, that successful people don't have to be cruel, that wealth doesn't have to make you forget where you came from. He pulled out a folder, flight simulation scores, perfect grades, letters of recommendation. I want to be like you, not just a pilot, but someone who stays human. I looked at this young man, 17 years old, already understanding what took me decades to learn. Marcus, you're exactly the kind of person this academy needs, not just as a student, but as a founding member. His eyes went wide. What does that mean? It means you'll help me build this program, help me decide who gets scholarships, help me make sure we're opening doors for the right people. And it means full scholarship, flight training, ground school, everything. He didn't cry, but his hands shook when he shook mine. I won't let you down. I know you won't. As I drove home that evening in my beat-up minivan, I thought about circles, how they close, how they complete. My dad had believed in me, given me the tools to fly. Now I was passing that gift forward to Emma, to Marcus, to 27 kids who'd been told their dreams were too big. And tomorrow I'd fly the Gulfstream to Maine, just because I could. Both lives were real. Both were mine. And finally, after all these years, I understood. The minivan and the jet weren't contradictions. They were proof that you can be successful and humble, wealthy and grounded, powerful and kind, all at once. It's been 4 months since that September day. 4 months since the Gulfstream landed and changed everything. Let me tell you where we are now. Karen filed for divorce. She's living in a smaller house 2 towns over. Started therapy, started finding herself. She called me last week. Sarah, I got a job, real estate sales, making my own money for the first time in 20 years. She sounded lighter, freer. I'm proud of you, I told her, and I meant it. Brittany moved to Vermont with her kids, left her controlling husband. She's teaching tennis at a local club, living in a small apartment, happy for the first time in years. She sends me photos sometimes, her kids smiling, real smiles, not performance smiles. Jessica and her husband downsized to a townhouse, both working, both contributing. Their marriage is stronger than ever. She teaches free yoga classes at the community center now, giving back. Maggie? Maggie's still Maggie, still the wisest woman I know, still teaching me what real wealth looks like. And the Chen Morrison Flight Academy, we've enrolled 15 students. Emma Ramirez soloed last month. Marcus is working toward his private pilot's license. 3 more scholarships start in January. The Courant ran a feature. It went viral. We've received donations from across the country. People who believe in opening doors, in lifting others up. As for me, I'm still living in the same house, still driving the same minivan, still shopping at Target with Lily. Last month, we flew to Costa Rica. just for the weekend, saw sloths, ate fresh mango, watched the sunset from the cockpit. The Gulf Stream made that possible. But the minivan gets us to our life, to school pickups and grocery runs and normal, beautiful, everyday moments. Both matter. Both are real. So here we are, you and me, end of this journey. I need to know, what part of this story resonated with you? The jet reveal, the moment with Lily, Karen's transformation, Marcus's dream? Drop a comment and tell me. I read every single one. And where are you watching from? What city, what state, what country? Are you a working mom, a student with big dreams, someone who's been underestimated? Let's build this community. Let's see how far this message travels. Because here's what I want you to take away. Your worth has nothing to do with what you drive, nothing to do with your relationship status, nothing to do with what others think of you. You are valuable because you're human, because you have dreams, because you show up every day and try. Maybe you're the woman in the beat-up car right now, the one being judged, the single mom working 3 jobs, the widow trying to figure it out. Keep going. I see you. I was you. Or maybe you're the woman performing, wearing the mask, pretending everything's perfect when it's falling apart. It's okay to stop. It's okay to be real. There's freedom in authenticity. There's power in vulnerability. If this story touched you, hit that subscribe button right now, because we're building something here. A community of women who understand that true wealth is internal, that power comes from lifting others up, that success and humility can coexist. Like this video if it moved you. Share it with a woman who needs to hear this, a friend who's struggling, a daughter who's being told she can't, a mother who forgot her worth. And if you're that woman, if you're the one who needed this today, listen, you are enough right now with exactly what you have: the minivan or the jet, the mansion or the apartment, the designer clothes or the Target finds. None of it defines you. You define you. Don't let anyone make you small. Don't let judgment dim your light. Don't let fear keep you from your dreams. This is Captain Sarah Chen Morrison, still driving my minivan, still flying my jet, still being exactly who I am, still proving every single day that a woman can be powerful and humble, wealthy and grounded, successful and kind, all at once. Now go out there and show the world who you are. You're worth it. And don't you ever forget it. It's been 4 months since that September day. 4 months since the Gulf Stream landed and changed everything. Let me tell you where we are now. Karen filed for divorce. She's living in a smaller house 2 towns over. Started therapy, started finding herself. She called me last week. Sarah, I got a job, real estate sales, making my own money for the first time in 20 years. She sounded lighter, freer. I'm proud of you, I told her, and I meant it. Brittany moved to Vermont with her kids, left her controlling husband. She's teaching tennis at a local club, living in a small apartment, happy for the first time in years. She sends me photos sometimes, her kids smiling, real smiles, not performance smiles. Jessica and her husband downsized to a townhouse, both working, both contributing. Their marriage is stronger than ever. She teaches free yoga classes at the community center now, giving back. Maggie? Maggie's still Maggie, still the wisest woman I know, still teaching me what real wealth looks like. And the Chen Morrison Flight Academy, we've enrolled 15 students. Emma Ramirez soloed last month. Marcus is working toward his private pilot's license. 3 more scholarships start in January. The Courant ran a feature. It went viral. We've received donations from across the country. People who believe in opening doors, in lifting others up. As for me, I'm still living in the same house, still driving the same minivan, still shopping at Target with Lily. Last month, we flew to Costa Rica just for the weekend, saw sloths, ate fresh mango, watched the sunset from the cockpit. The Gulf Stream made that possible. But the minivan gets us to our life, to school pickups and grocery runs and normal, beautiful, everyday moments. Both matter. Both are real. So here we are, you and me. End of this journey. I need to know, what part of this story resonated with you? The jet reveal, the moment with Lily, Karen's transformation, Marcus's dream? Drop a comment and tell me. I read every single one. And where are you watching from? What city, what state, what country? Are you a working mom, a student with big dreams, someone who's been underestimated? Let's build this community. Let's see how far this message travels. Because here's what I want you to take away. Your worth has nothing to do with what you drive, nothing to do with your relationship status, nothing to do with what others think of you. You are valuable because you're human, because you have dreams, because you show up every day and try. Maybe you're the woman in the beat up car right now, the one being judged, the single mom working 3 jobs, the widow trying to figure it out. Keep going. I see you. I was you. Or maybe you're the woman performing, wearing the mask, pretending everything's perfect when it's falling apart. It's okay to stop. It's okay to be real. There's freedom in authenticity. There's power in vulnerability. If this story touched you, hit that subscribe button right now because we're building something here. A community of women who understand that true wealth is internal, that power comes from lifting others up, that success and humility can coexist. Like this video if it moved you. Share it with a woman who needs to hear this, a friend who's struggling, a daughter who's being told she can't, a mother who forgot her worth. And if you're that woman, if you're the one who needed this today, listen, you are enough right now with exactly what you have: the minivan or the jet, the mansion or the apartment, the designer clothes or the Target finds. None of it defines you. You define you. Don't let anyone make you small. Don't let judgment dim your light. Don't let fear keep you from your dreams. This is Captain Sarah Chen Morrison, still driving my minivan, still flying my jet, still being exactly who I am, still proving every single day that a woman can be powerful and humble, wealthy and grounded, successful and kind, all at once. Now go out there and show the world who you are. You're worth it. And don't you ever forget it.